Hi, Professor. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are here to talk about you and your work. So, can you please start by introducing yourself?
My name is Ann Jordan. I am an assistant professor in the Visual Communication Design program in the College of Art and Design at Rochester Institute of Technology. I'm also a book cover designer and a passionate swimmer.
So, Professor, how do you balance your role of being an independent designer, a professor, and also a swimmer?
I balance being a professor, a designer, and a swimmer by embracing the fact that everything is connected and the work that I do in all these areas of my life feed each other. So the things that I learn in my practice as a book cover designer, I bring directly into the classroom and I share with my graduate students. And the things I learned from swimming, the practice, the regimented schedule, the dedication, I can apply that directly to being a book cover designer. I had my own business for 15 years before becoming a professor. And really, they all just feed and help each other.
That sounds amazing, Professor. Can you talk a little about your journey into the design world and who inspired you the most?
When I was in high school, I moved to a new school. I moved from Iowa City, Iowa to Chicago and started ninth grade as the new kid in school in a big city coming from small town Iowa. And it was very hard to make friends. It was a totally different environment, and I found the art classroom to be my favorite safe place. And I ended up spending my entire high school just in the art classroom, totally falling in love with art. I never thought I would go to art school, but the circumstances of that move and then having a wonderful art teacher in high school encouraged me to apply to Rhode Island School of Design, where I went to college. Another important thing that happened in my teenage years was I saw an exhibition of Ed Ruscha's work at the Museum of Contemporary Art in Chicago. And if you don't know his work, he's a painter who works with typography. And the intersection of type and image in his work is just incredible. I had never seen anything like it. So that's what specifically led me to explore graphic design when I went to RISD and really get into typography.
So, talking about typography, can you talk a little about what fascinates you the most in typography?
I'm specifically interested in how words can be formed out of different materials using different techniques, and how those materials and techniques that I use to form a word can inform the meaning of that word. And that's why I gravitate towards book cover design, because the format of a book cover is the perfect opportunity to explore that intersection of type and image, what a word says, and then the image of that word, and specifically how that image is made in a way that informs the meaning.
So, how does your work environment look like?
I work from home. I purchased my home for the studio space, and over the years that I've lived there, I've fine-tuned it into a very comfortable, ergonomic workspace for me. So my living room is my studio. I have a lot of table space. I have a wall of cabinets that have all sorts of different supplies that I may need, and weird supplies like crumpled up pieces of plastic, as well as cameras and all the typical art supplies. I like to have everything available so that there's no friction. If I have an idea, I can just try it. So I have a scanner, I have a little photo setup, a computer. Everything's in one big room that's designed to fit my body and be as comfortable as possible.
So, this might be a tough question, but which is your favorite book cover that you've designed yet?
They're kind of like my children, so I feel like I'm going to offend some of them if I say one is my favorite. But if I had to pick, I would choose The Woman Who Read Too Much. It's a novel about a woman in Persia who learns how to read and unveils herself in front of a court full of men. And essentially, she's just a totally brave, amazing woman. And the key words that I was working with in my ideation for that cover were unveiling, enlightenment, the revealing of something. So I used 2 sheets of paper and cut the type out of paper and then placed them on a light table where I could pull one sheet up to create this effect of the title unveiling itself. Also feels like a page of a book.